All right, we are live. Hello, thank you for coming by. Hi, Loop Tape. All right, we've got Loop Tape is here, and um, I don't know if any other people are here yet, but I have Mr.
Well,
Mark Bunker here, who is our guest for tonight.
hello.
Hello.
Hello, looped tape, and everyone else who comes in later.
Yes. So thank you for coming in.
Oh,
There we
look,
go. Moose on the
Moose on the
loose.
loose is here.
All right, and
Howdy.
Kelly, hi. So thank you guys for coming in, and thank you, Mark, for coming on tonight.
Certainly.
And thanks everyone for joining us. Exactly. Yeah. Thank you to everyone. And one of the things, if I'm interviewing someone, I try not to talk to other people because then I get too distracted. So I'm
Good
I'm saying
sound
to you
way to live.
now, yeah, welcome to everyone, and I'm happy to anyone that comes on. And I'm certainly happy tonight that they get to hear you because
Oh,
Mark
it's
has
exciting. When
it
I take
is.
to the airwaves, oh man, it's electric.
It's a surprise tonight. Tonight, Mark has a surprise. We're gonna put this bow on you. There you go. See,
Oh,
get
really?
right.
I'd like to see you do it.
I can. You don't think I can? Let's see. Mark. Oh yeah, you're right. I can't.
I don't think it's anywhere near me.
I don't think it is either. All right. So if you have a question or a comment you'd like Mark or Tory to say, please put question or comment. Okay, in front of your comment. Thank you. Thank you, Kelly.
Oh, look,
Hi, One
you
Love.
have such you have such an amazing mod. How'd you find somebody like this?
I know. I had to steal her from someone that I really like a lot, but
Mhm.
I did. Hi, Becky. I know she's amazing. She's a really great person.
Yes, she
In
is.
Pa- South Padre Island. Ooh, Texas. All right.
Oof.
That's cool. Well, anyway, welcome, Mark Bunker. So fill us in on what's been news with you.
Well, life is exciting every single moment of the day and every day of the year, I tell you.
I've
Uh,
been reading about that.
yeah, well, I have to say, did you know it was Christmas the other day? Just a,
Believe it or not, I did.
they have that in California. We
They
had
do.
Christmas here in Florida, so it's
Oh,
good to hear that
good.
it's reaching across the country like that. I hope
It
you had a
is.
great Christmas. I
I
got
did.
together with family and friends. Well, okay, my cats. I was together with my cats here. We had a fun time, and that's the excitement. Just celebrating with the cats.
Well,
But
there you go.
I know people are waiting for this because I have seen a bunch of fun stuff lately, and I think I should mention some of the things that I find worth watching.
Good.
Uh, Now, if you've got Netflix uh, and you haven't watched it yet, you have to watch Wake Up Dead Man. It is so much fun. It's another mystery thriller comedy from the guy who did Knives Out. It's the same
Oh,
detective played by Daniel Craig who comes into these different places where there's a murder and he solves the murder, and it's always lots of fun. Well, this one is terrific. It's set in a church where a new young priest has come to help out you know the older priest who's there,
I
and
think I saw
it's
this.
filled with eccentrics. Yeah, and then the older guy dies. I'm not surprised. I'm not spoiling anything because that's well known. And then they have to sort out who did it, and it's so much fun watching them do that in the theaters. In the theaters, I saw a couple of things that I really enjoyed. One was okay. The name is escaping me right now.
Well, no, wait. Before you do the theater, what was the name of the last one? Because someone Kelly asked that.
Wake Up Dead Man, a
I think
Knives Out mystery.
yeah, Spanky and I just watched that, The Wake Up Dead Man.
Ah,
The
did
night,
you like it?
the night before Christmas. I did.
Ah,
It was definitely something that keeps your attention.
okay.
Now I've got
And
to
here's,
watch Knives Out.
yes, you do. How come it's not? Oh, I was looking up my AMC app, and I'm like, how come it's not in here? Well, I didn't get to see it in the theater because they played it for like a week or two in some theaters around the country.
Right.
Netflix normally, just plays their movies on Netflix, but every once in a while they get one where the director says, "I want this in the theater so we can get an Oscar," and
Right.
they did that for a brief time. Uh, but there's another film that I saw. I don't know if I mentioned this previously, but there was a recorded version of a Broadway musical, "Merrily We Roll Along," and it's a Stephen Sondheim show, and it's a show that I love, and I'm so thrilled that they actually filmed this to play in theaters and then eventually on TV. It stars the Harry Potter guy, Daniel Radcliffe.
What happened? Mark. Mark. Whoa. All right. So somehow Mr. Mark Bunker. Bunky. Bunky. He'll come back. All right. So we're waiting for you, Marky, to come back. I'm hoping to catch Song Blue in the theater. The movies leave the theater as soon. Oh, yeah, I know. I know. I saw Martin Scorsese live, and one of the kids got up and said, "If you could give us hi JB or aloha JB 808, and everyone else." I saw them live in the theater at the Egyptian back when we were going to the Egyptian, and one of the young men got up and said, "If you could give us any tip on what to do to make a movie, what would it be?" And he said, "Well, just so you know, movies now have to hit it in the first weekend or they go right to DVD." And he said, "So my tip is take as much money as you have, $500, $1,000, make a small video of it and put it on the internet, because that is all we do." And Leo DiCaprio was on also. And they both agreed. They said, "That's all we do is watch the internet and look for material." So there you go. If you want to make a movie, that's from Martin Scorsese and Leo DiCaprio. I can't find my list of movies Bunky suggested that I've been writing down. Okay. Yeah, I know. Pluribus was one. Did you have that? That's one. He's having a problem with his computer. He'll be right back. Thank you, Kelly. Yeah, I figured. There he is. Woohoo! Bunky,
Hello.
welcome back.
It's always fun when you're on a roll chatting online to literally millions of people out there watching right now.
Of
And
course.
and then suddenly your computer says, computer had a problem. It needs to restart, and then just restarts itself. All right. Well, at least we're up and running again, at least for a couple of minutes, till it decides,
Right.
we don't want to hear about this Merrily We Roll Along film. Anyway, the I was talking about Merrily We Roll Along, which I love. It also stars Lindsay Mendez, big Tony-winning Broadway actress who I acted with when she was like 8 years old and played my youngest daughter in Fiddler on the Roof. So I was thrilled that I'd have a chance to see the show.
Sure.
And it was great. It was wonderful. So if you ever have a chance to see it, You should try. Um, it's maybe harder to find than most films because it's one of these fathom events type of things, and they don't always pop up on
Kelly
like
just put a
Netflix
link
and
there.
everything.
Kelly just put a link there for Merrily We Roll Along.
Hooray! And
Yay.
then there was a thriller I saw just a few days ago. I thought, okay, I'll give it a shot. It's from Paul Feig, who is a director of lots of great comedies like Bridesmaids, and he
Right.
created the TV show Freaks and Geeks. He's done a lot of great comedies, but he's also done a couple thrillers now. The first one was A Simple Favor, which I really enjoyed, and this new one was pretty darn good too, and that is called The Housemaid, and it stars
Ah,
Sydney Sweeney. Sydney Sweeney is this young gal who needs a job, and so she gets hired to be the housemaid at this huge, beautiful home where the husband's a very successful uh, uh, you know at whatever he did, he's successful. So they got a beautiful home, all the money that you could possibly want, and his wife hires this young gal to be the maid, and then things start going wacky, and it's like, but the really nice woman who interviewed this person for the maid job, she's nuts, and then it's just filled with all sorts of twists and turns, and ultimately, I thought it was really well done.
is it on Netflix?
No, that's still in the theaters. It'll be on streaming services soon. But if you
I
have a
got
chance to see Housemaid, I recommend that. And then one that I wasn't really, oops, sorry. Uh, I wasn't really sure I'd go to it or not. And then I saw the trailer for it. And Goldie Hawn's daughter is the star of it. What's her
I
name? I
saw
can't.
it.
Kate Hudson.
Yeah.
Song Sung Blue. Did you see that?
Yeah. Yes.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And
She's really good in it.
she is spectacular. And they showed a clip on one of the talk shows, and I fell in love with her instantly just from the clip. So I had to go and see this, and I was like, oh man, what an amazing woman! And Hugh Jackman is a big Broadway musical star, so this is they're a cover band doing Neil Diamond songs, and they're just trying to make some money to exist because they're living on the borderline there.
Right.
Not very successful, but then the act catches on, and seeing their story unfold was a lot of fun, and
Sure.
I loved all the music. And then, it turns out that this is based on a documentary about the real couple from 2007. So I came home from the theater, looked on YouTube, and yes, you can see the entire 2007 documentary, also called Song Sung Blue.
Oh,
And I just sat and watched that back to back. So it was a double bill. And I got to
yeah.
tell you, I'm glad I saw the Kate Hudson, Hugh Jackman version first, because they kind of ironed out some of the more trailer trashy aspects of the real couple,
Yeah.
and made it more audience friendly. But the story is still the same. These two people find each other. They start doing the act, and then some sort of setback happens in their lives. Um, but both worth seeing, especially the Hugh Jackman Kate Hudson one. And if anyone can just go ahead and ruin Kate Hudson's marriage, so I have a shot at her, I'd appreciate that. See if you can get her to
Let me
divorce.
let me send a telegram.
You're closer. That's true. You're in California. You're closer to her.
Right.
All right. That's all I
Well,
have.
all right. Well, that's good. That's good. And I'll watch the documentary. It's on YouTube.
Uh, yes, the documentary is on YouTube. And again, it's called Song Sung Blue. And there's
Yeah,
this
I liked it.
channel that, yeah, there's this channel that has nothing but documentaries. And the guy who made the film back in 2007 has given the blessing to just put the entire film there for free. So
Cool.
give
Cool.
it a
Well,
shot.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Certainly.
Thank you. Thank you. And hi, Blow Drill. He just hopped on also. And Adam and Mark Stebbins. There's a whole bunch of people here coming on to see you. One love. All right. We went over, remember the HGV, Mark?
The what?
It's it's the HGV. It's the Hollywood Guarantee Building. And
Oh,
it's
okay.
yeah. And we Drew and I went over there Saturday night. And normally we were never allowed to even be anywhere. Wherever we were, they'd come and say, "Get out of here." Not a soul. I even sat on their, I went in years ago, but I went and sat on the outside ledge of their building. And they came right out and said, "Tory, get out of here. You can't be on our ledge." And I took out my SP declare and I said, "I'm sorry, but this says my only terminal is the International Justice Chief via the Continental Justice Chief. So you'll have to bring him out here because I know he works in this building and he can
Hmm.
talk to me. But in the meantime, I'm here." But this time, not a soul. A Sea Org member even went to try to get in the building, locked out. Another
Wow.
lady came to deliver from Walmart. Nobody'd open the door. And I finally said, "Look, I'm going to give you a break because they hate me. So they won't open the door as long as I'm here in front of the door. So we're going to go around the corner and then you deliver the Walmart thing."
So did she ultimately get it delivered? Did you come
Yeah.
back from around the corner?
Well, she
Okay.
wasn't there. So I pretty much think she did.
Okay.
Someone else told me they just leave it outside. But I said, not on Hollywood Boulevard, they don't. And not in front of Scientology. They're too paranoid.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway,
But you
that
didn't
was my
you but while you were there, there was no sign of Kate Hudson, was there? I'm just
well.
curious.
Now I got my eyes out for her, so I'll
All
find
right.
out. I've got connections to Kate, so
All right. I
we'll work it
appreciate
out.
that.
Yeah,
That's true. Well, Spanky's in touch with everybody, so I'm sure she could set this up.
I'm sure. Well, she set it up with me, and who was the lady that called me? What was way back when? What was her name? You know her.
I don't know. A woman called you.
She's a big, big celebrity, and she was a big celebrity then who had a TV show. And she had Tom Cruise on the show. And I watched it, and it was either Tom Cruise or Travolta. And I said, "They're getting her. It's happening." And
Oprah?
who?
Oprah, maybe?
No, it wasn't
He got
Oprah,
Tom
but it
Cruise.
was
Aloha,
Rosie
JV808
O'Donnell.
says Rosie.
Thank you, JV808. Good for you. Thank you. It was
Could have
Rosie
been Oprah.
O'Donnell. I know, it could have
All
been.
right.
But I saw him really getting close to her. And I called Spanky and I said, "Look, this is happening." And she said, "I'll send your New Times LA article that Tony Ortega did to her."
Mm-hmm.
So she did. And that night I get an email, "Dear Magoo, this is Roro." And I write back and I say, "Dear Roro, how do I know you're really Roro and you're not the Office of Special Affairs from Scientology?" And I said,
Oh,
"You call
you're
me."
tough. You're a
Well,
tough
come
cookie.
on. I worked with them. I know their shit. So I said, "You call me." So she called me up. We talked for 2 hours. I
Wow.
educated her on a lot of stuff. And she called me the next night. She said, "I cannot thank you enough." She said, "I am so pissed off." I said, "What happened?" She said, "Well, it was supposed to be a fundraiser." And she said, "I went into this ballroom. There was no one. Over in a corner were a bunch of Sea Org. That was it. And chairs. And they had her sitting there and they were pounding her for an hour. to donate $1 million. And she said,
Good
honestly,
Lord.
Tory, if I hadn't talked to you, I would have given him the $1 million.
Really?
And she said, but now I'm so pissed off, I'm going to make a TV show about it and tell everybody. And I said, look, what do your friends and family say about that? And she said, they all say don't do it. And I said, well, here's how I feel. I agree with them. Because if you do it, she had children and stuff like that. I said, they'll come after you. It'll be bad. I said, but what you can do that'll be much more effective is just every time you talk to anyone, if the topic comes up, give them xenu.net or whatever, one of the Scientology sites. And she said, oh, that's a great idea. So anyway, that was my Rosie O'Donnell story. I forget how it came up.
Could you send Rosie over here? Because if you just have to talk to her to get $1 million, I'd be happy to do that. And then with that $1 million, maybe I can, tempt Kate Hudson to go out to dinner with me.
That's true. I'll send her an email. I'll send Roro an email.
Man, you know everybody.
Well, you have some exciting news to tell us.
I do have some exciting news. You ever watch the TV series Doc Martin?
Mm-hmm.
It's a great show from England, and I just read right before we did this that there is an American version of Doc Martin that premieres on Sunday night, called Good Medicine. I think that's the name of it, and the New York Times seemed to suggest it's good. So if you like Doc Martin, give it a shot, because I'm going to give it a shot. I can't think of anything else that I could announce. I don't know.
No, wait a second. You and I already talked about it.
You're right. Now that you mention it, there is something else. I decided I'm going to run one more time for the Clearwater City Council.
Woo-hoo! Yes. Good.
I have been so upset with everything that's been happening.
Sure.
And then the culmination of it all is the city attorney here resigning because of all the nonsense going on there with the current council. And I was one of the people on the council when we hired David Margolis for this position, and he's terrific. And I was hoping he'd stay there for decades. But no, only made it a couple of years before he said, I think I'm going to get out of here. And I'm watching, I watch these meetings, and it's just, I can't believe how much the council has changed.
Really?
And it's just the personalities of the people who got elected last time, including the guy who took my seat. Worse. I mean, there's a kind of arrogance there that I haven't seen before.
Right.
And it's driving me nuts that they're, solid votes for Miscavige, both of them. And I'm hearing tell now that Scientology's got 2 more candidates that they want to put in the next 2 open seats. And we cannot allow Scientology to absolutely control the council. So I decided.
Let me just ask you this: Don't they have some kind of rule on that because of church and state?
No. I mean, and there's no. You can be influenced by anybody. The fact that the Scientology is not running the candidates that are going to be running against me, but
are you kidding me?
The Republican Party is in the pocket of Scientology, and they intend to get 2 more people who are clones of Cotton and Menino on the council to have a solid voting bloc, and that would be outrageously bad. There has never been a Scientology-controlled city council in Clearwater.
Right.
And we have to make sure that doesn't happen now. So
Yeah.
next year, the campaign season kicks off in February, mid-February. You can go in and register to be a candidate, and then you go out and collect the signatures and try to get on the ballot, and then you campaign your heart out, and you win. Not like last time. Last time I didn't win.
Yeah.
This time I need to win, and I think we will. I think the setting of this race is going to be wildly different from the last race.
Because
Last time, for all the folks who don't like politics, well, this is a kind of a political thing. Last time, even though we tried to keep it quiet, I did have the backing of the Democratic Party, and statewide and locally, and Florida Now and the Local Now chapter endorsed me, along with our police department and the firefighters. So I had a lot of people supporting me this last time. That certainly was not the case the first time. But
right.
in the election in 24, Biden was going to be on the ticket. So the Democrats didn't put anybody on the ticket to run against Trump. And then, then after that, it was just a disaster. But Democrats didn't see any reason to show up, and the Republicans spent a lot of money to get them out. So that's that dynamic hurt me, and that's why I lost by, I think, like 600 votes. It's going to be a blue wave this next year, and for those who hate politics and want me to fail because I might be a Democrat, there's going to be far more Democratic people coming to vote this time. So I think that will benefit me, and I'll need it because of how much money and how much influence is going to be used to try to defeat me again. One of the people I supposedly will be running against is the wife of a political dynasty here, the Latvala family. Her daddy-in-law was had a position at the state level, and then he had to resign in disgrace over all sorts of sexual harassment charges and a 2-year affair with a lobbyist. So he was run out of office. But his son has taken a couple positions countywide here. And now the son's wife is being set up to run for the city council. And the Latvala family has been in with Scientology since 2008.
Are they Scientologists, any of them?
They're not. No, they're not. But I mean, if you go online, you can see Chris Latvalis, the husband of the woman who'll be running. You can see him at a Narconon event, saying, I can't wait to come to the graduations. I'm so thrilled. We've got Narconon here in this area. And he has just been a jerk when it comes to anything I try to do about Scientology. So I imagine it's going to be a very brutal campaign. And I tried very hard to be above everything and not use any type of negative campaigning. But you cannot. I cannot be silent, knowing that this family has been so involved with Scientology, so in their pocket since 2008.
Sure.
To have her on the council, along with another Ryan Cotton clone in the other seat, that's a disaster. And when the only political, not department, but the downtown development board, when I got elected, that was largely run by Scientologists.
Right.
And I asked, as one of my first things to do when I was elected to the council, I wanted to be appointed to the Downtown Development Board. So,
Sure.
I'd be able to sit in the room with them, all those OTs who were furious that I might actually get on the DDB. So there was a council meeting where they all lined up, all these powerful OTs lined up uh, in the chambers there to denounce me and say we cannot allow a bunker on the DDB because it would be like having Hitler there, or the head of the KKK at African event. Um, the council was nice enough to say, yeah, we're gonna put him on there and see what happens. Well, by the end of the 4 years, that council was disbanded. That
Wow.
was the only political office that was controlled by Scientology, and they did nothing. They kind of were futzing around with a little bit of money to bring the downtown back when the biggest problem downtown was Scientology buying all the buildings, leaving them empty. And you'd point that out to them, and they'd pound the gavel, say, "You cannot mention Scientology." So eventually, we just got rid of that entirely. But to have that replaced by a Scientology-controlled city council, that can't happen.
No. And that's their goal. It's been their goal since 1979 when I was there.
Yep.
And Richard Tenney was running for office, save sparkling clear water, stamp out Scientology. Ha ha.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
so it's going to be interesting. It's going to be nasty, I'm sure. I tell you, even in the last campaign, we sent out, I think we were only able to afford like 3 mailers to voters, whereas the Republican Party had a slate of candidates that they were sending out mailers every single day for their folks.
right.
So we got dwarfed in being able to spend money. But like Ryan was running against me, and one of the mailers that we were going to send out had like a little dig at him because his father is already on the council. And I said, go ahead, take that out. We don't need to, attack him on that. Because David Albritton is a good man. I like him. I didn't want to, attack that way. I thought I could win without that. But we cannot. We cannot. I cannot be Mr. Good Guy at this time.
No.
So I'm going to fight hard.
Good. Well, this should be good. And how many people would you say are kind of on our side in Clearwater?
Well, if you're talking about the folks who live here,
yeah,
the majority of residents here in Clearwater, if you knock on the door and say you're running for the city council, their first question is, what are you going to do about Scientology? So Scientology is not, it does not have a sparkling reputation here in sparkling Clearwater.
Good.
So that's not a problem. But with all of the nonsense that that you have to put up with, all of the attacks that were done on me this last time, we still got very, very close to winning with the headwinds way against us. So hopefully we can counteract any enormous amount of money that will be spent to defeat me, and just win because we have to win. And I'm the right candidate for this moment.
I believe you are correct on that. I really do.
Yep.
And Sieglin said once the companies and enough residents start moving out of Clearwater because of Scientology's negative contributions, the tide should turn. And Eric says, hi, Tory, Mark, and love from Culver City. My parents said hi and happy almost New Year to 2026. That's correct. It is almost Happy New Year for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
And hopefully
Uh,
it will be for you.
when I was on the council, we made some good progress, and
Oh,
I felt
yeah.
pretty I felt pretty good by the time I had to step down, that we
Sure.
had opened up the revitalized Coachman Park and put up the amphitheater that's drawing tens of thousands of people downtown. So when there's an event, people will come downtown. And we have now, I think they just broke ground on a new hotel that's going to be next to the park.
Mm.
And there's a 400 apartment complex that is going up down there
Really?
as well. Yeah, we
Wow.
we
Where?
where the old city hall used to stand. Um,
Oh,
we tore that down, and we have this New York developer coming in. They initially proposed a 600 apartment uh,
ah,
complex, and we agreed to that. But then COVID, came along, and they had to, cut it back. Whereas
right.
a lot of construction projects just totally shut down during COVID over,
True.
across the country. But we wanted
Right.
to make sure that this stayed alive. And finally, it's such a huge thing that it's taken a number of years to get to this point where they're starting to construct it now. And they'll actually start the construction next year. Um, so
Hmm.
we were developing the downtown despite Scientology. And, I had pretty important part in that because of all the folks who didn't trust that Scientology was not involved in this project. I had to go out and be the salesperson to those folks to say,
Sure.
no, this is a stopgap. This is a stop guard to keep Scientology from controlling these properties downtown.
Right.
There's not a lot we can do about the buildings that they purchased and have left empty, but we can create some businesses, as like in the hotel and in the apartments. There's going to be ground level retail and restaurants that Scientology will not control ever. It's in the
Right.
contracts that David Margolis wrote up, that if this developer down the line 20 years from now or so wants to sell the apartment complex, they have to have the approval of the city, and it has to go to another company that develops and runs large scale apartments like this. Not, so Miss Cabbage can't come in and say, oh yeah, we have Hacienda Gardens, we put 12 people in an apartment, we want to buy it. No, that's not going to. So
What a bird.
yeah, so this is make and break time now. I was getting really depressed seeing that Ryan and Menino were all gung-ho on the L. Ron Hubbard Hall and L.
Oh,
Ron Hubbard
yeah.
Park. And Ryan
Right.
especially was so thrilled. Oh, it's beautiful. You should see this. It's beautiful. And the park, oh my God, it's gorgeous. It's open to the public, and we won't have to spend a cent to keep it up. Scientology will
Right.
pay for everything.
Yeah.
Oh, it won't cost the city a penny. It's going to cost the city a fortune to have L. Ron Hubbard's
Sure.
name
Oh,
on
yeah.
this giant hall that's going to be right on the path to the beach that everybody drives by. And
Exactly.
so that will now be the new gateway to the downtown. Um, and it
Emphatic.
does not. Yeah, I can't say that I'm going to be able to stop that because that's already in motion. But we can, we can fight it.
Yeah. Now, we Super Genius asked, where do we donate to this campaign? And I think
Oh,
you
there's no
said you
donation.
can't, right?
No, no donations yet. Well, that'll be announced along the way. I can talk about the campaign, but you cannot raise any money for it at all until you actually become an official candidate, and that you do that by, going in and filling out the form to run. You get the 350 signature cards. So you have to go out to knock on doors and get enough people to say, yeah, we want them on the ballot. And then once you turn those in and they're validated, then they can say, all right, you are a candidate. We need you to give us the name of your treasurer, and you have to have a bank account for the campaign. And so you have to have that stuff in place before you are allowed to collect even a penny. So
Right.
nothing to think about at this point.
Not now.
I got to tell you, though, over the next year, starting in mid-February, maybe March, I forget when it actually, everything has to be turned in. I think next year we'll probably be bugging you, see if
yeah, absolutely. But that's what that was my question, is that, wait, what happened here? What did I do? Okay, there we go. That was my question, is that are there people that can help you get those signatures, or do you have to do it all yourself?
No, people can help. In fact, I actually talked to Brooks. Brooks is on board. So I think gathering signatures this time is not going to be not going to be a problem at all.
Well, and guess what? I have your treasurer. Just so you know, I was in a class council with Hillary Clinton, Hillary Rodham. There's the class council.
Yep.
And here is your treasurer. No, I'm just kidding. But isn't it funny? Can you see it? Can you see me?
Yeah.
There you go. See, I'm holding the big safe.
Well, there you go. All right, Magoo. We'll put you in charge.
What can you say? Class council with Hillary Clinton. Not bad. It was funny, though. It was funny to have me be the treasurer.
When you said you had somebody for the position, I was really hoping it'd be Kate Hudson. Oh well.
Well, we got to move that along a little bit. Isn't she married?
Yeah. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. Don't worry.
That's why, that's why there has to be a sabotage of a relationship. There was a question that was put up there on the screen a moment ago, and I don't remember what it was now. I think Kelly put it up there. What was it?
What'd she say?
Well, there's this one. What's the latest with Albritton? I don't know what the latest is. I don't know that there's anything new to report on that, since they only had one meeting at the beginning of December. So I don't have any inside info. I'm sure, whatever the fallout from David sending the letter to our state attorney general, which caused the commotion, all the hubbub, all the ado. The fallout from that is what led to our terrific city attorney to resign. Beyond that, I don't think there's anything else that I could add to that at this point. As far as David and his son-in-law and the rest of the folks on the council, whatever happened there, I'm sure they've moved on. But we, David's retiring, and that's the seat that I'm going for. And I imagine everybody else is going for that one as well. Because Lena is running for re-election. Lena is a solid vote. against Scientology. So
Oh, good.
you know,
Good.
we have to make sure that she gets reelected. I didn't want to knock her out. So it should be a fascinating, ugly race, but I will be adorable. I have to
Of
say this,
course.
I maybe have to hit hard, but I'm still adorable.
You are. You are. And what are you? A national treasure, right?
National treasure. Yep.
That's right.
I
So there
was
you go.
reflecting the other day. I used to be the world's oldest boy genius. And then
Oh,
I accepted the fact that okay, now I'm a national treasure. So that's what the public has said.
there you
So
go.
I have to accept that.
Now, I have a question for you. And this may be way not something that you can do, but there's a lot of people that were in Scientology that have very important things about Clearwater. They worked in Clearwater. I'm one of them who, but I mean, there's a lot of people that were way higher in the church, in the Sea Org and everything else, and now they're out. Could they write letters or anything to the public and make a little pack and
Well,
something like that?
if anyone wants to speak out, and um, we can actually, I hope, go to Spanky for help in some of this. If she knows some other folks who might be interested in endorsing me and allowing their stories and their endorsement to be sent out on a mailer, for example. There's not a lot of letters that get sent to constituents, and it costs a lot of money to send anything to all
Not
the.
send it. No.
You just want a letter to put on the internet.
I'm not sure what I want. I was just thinking there's people that have been there in Clearwater. They've worked for the church. Now they're out and they know why these
Yeah,
people shouldn't vote for them and they should vote for you.
yeah. Well, we should be doing that. We should be getting testimonies from all these
Yeah,
people who have experienced firsthand what Scientology has done in this city
right.
and why we cannot allow them to control the council.
Exactly. And there's people that have very inside information about it. And I think it'd be
Hmm.
very important. I don't know where I don't know how or how that would work, but I just think it's a good idea,
Yeah.
because there are so many people that did work there. They know the inside, they know what they did, and that's why they left.
Well,
Right?
like in Safety Harbor now, you have Matt Pesh and Amy Scobie. They live here.
There, there you
Uh,
go.
so if they were to do an endorsement or share a little bit of their experiences when they were on the RPF together
Right.
uh, in the Fort Harrison,
Right.
um, that would be really terrific. So
Yeah.
we have to reach out to them and anyone else who
Yeah.
wants to contribute.
Yeah. I think that would be a really good idea, Mark, because I
It
think
is
it
a
would
good idea.
really give you a big broader it would broaden your
Right.
importance. You're important, but then these people are all people that were in the church, working
Mhm.
in the church, were slimed to death and are now out. And
Yeah.
not all of them will say anything, but some of them might.
And of course, it can't be all Scientology, but
No.
this is a crucial thing right now. There
Yeah.
are a few big things going on that I need to get up to speed on. So I have to read a lot of these studies that were uh, issued or ordered by the city on whether we should try to seize all of the electrical system here, the complete electrical grid from Duke Energy, and start our own um, power company for Clearwater
Are you
itself.
serious?
No, that's something that this council that's currently on there set in motion. So they've spent, I think now, $2 million on studies. I know there was at least 1 million, but I think they may have spent up to 2 million now for studies to explore: is this a good idea or a bad idea? And offhand, seems like uh, you know a risky thing. If we were starting the city anew, um,
Yeah. Right.
and you want to build the infrastructure yourself,
Sure.
well, okay,
Sure.
that makes a lot of sense. Um,
Yeah.
but for us now to have to spend millions and millions of dollars um, to Duke Energy to buy all of their power lines and poles and
Right.
all this kind of stuff, um, and um, go to court when they say, no, we don't want to sell you our, we're going to make life difficult for you. So
Right.
that fight, I'm not sure I could
Yeah.
support. We'll see. There may be, maybe reasons why it's good. I've talked to some people who are in favor of it. They say it's going to lower um, the energy costs. I'm worried, like when we have another big storm or a hurricane come through here that causes damage. The city is going to get the power grid back up again as efficiently as Duke Energy. But
Right.
that's all part of all these studies they did. So, there's lots of stuff that I have to to look into now.
Now, Cultwater Vicky lives there, and she
Yes.
said, "No, you don't. We don't need our own power company." So this is just my suggestion. Just looking at her, maybe she could take that on and do some research on it and pass it on to you. That's a way people can help. Hmm?
Yeah, and just knowing the sentiment of the folks in Clearwater, that's an important part of it as well.
Right.
Um,
Right.
but crucially, the the big studies that they had commissioned, there'll be uh, you know material in there that I have to understand before going into any debates. Because I'm sure that
Right.
question is going to come up. Well, should we seize Duke Energy's power grid? I want to have an answer for that.
Yes.
Seems pretty risky, but in the long run, it might be beneficial.
I think. Well, we'll see. It's going to be an interesting next year. All right. Good SP says, the two reasons I started watching The Truth Behind Scientology, when Mark started filming, I started watching my two favorite and Scientology protesters.
Well, there you
There
go.
you go.
Goo,
There you go.
goo. We should have crowns made. We are very important people. Oh, you
I
have one.
have I have my crown. Remember,
You have a crown and you have devil.
what do I have?
There you go. Devil horns.
Yeah, I have devil horns and I have a
You
crown.
wear them together.
So
Yep.
it just depends on what day it is, what night it is, what's happening.
Mhm.
There
Yes, I
you
can see
go.
you on one shoulder with the crown and you on the other shoulder with the devils talking to me, trying to convince me to do something.
Oh, come on. I've never been a devil to you, except for when I was in
Yeah,
Scientology.
that's
But even
just
then, you have to admit I wasn't mean to you. I wasn't.
no, never.
No. I
Yep.
always liked you. Bunker and I were talking about Smurf today. Remember Smurf? He was an
Well, we were.
old protester.
Yeah, I remember.
Hmm?
I remember Smurf, but we
Yeah.
weren't talking about him.
No. No. Drew and I were. I'm sorry, I
Oh,
said Bunker. Drew and I. We were just thinking of unusual things that happened with him because he was around when you were around at
he
that
was.
celebrity center thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He was. And then he passed away. It happens.
I can't say that I ever warmed up to him. I met him
No.
the first time in '99 when I showed my face for the first time as people were doing a protest. And I had a big camera that Bob Minton had provided me. And I
Right.
started talking to people on the street and getting some stories from like Dennis Ehrlich and others who were there. And then Smurf was running around with a T-shirt that had something on there about him being a OSA spy, I think. And he was just like, just being a pest. Like
He was a
one of
pest.
the guys, yeah. One of the guys decided to go into a little bookstore or a little store that was run by Scientologists across from Big Blue,
Right.
and we wandered in there and wandered out, and Smurf followed us around in there and was just, so upset that we would dare to walk into the building.
Go in his territory.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I never knew if I don't think he really was a Scientologist. I think he pretended he was. Anyway, let's go on because who cares?
Yeah.
None of these people even know him. It was from years gone by. And Drew and I were talking of just how different everything has changed because of live streaming. And antics, going down to the city council with Laura FM and Henry and those guys. And, now people are calling in. So that's good. You can call in, actually. Anybody can call in from anywhere. I didn't know that. But I talked to someone that I interviewed, and she said, yeah, she called in from very far away. Another country. She called from a different country, from Copenhagen. And she was able to get through to the city council. I thought that's impressive.
Were they talking live at a council meeting? Or
they're on the phone? It's like Zoom. You're on Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah, it's live at a council meeting.
But I'm just trying to think of how long meetings would be if people can call in from all over the world to tell us what you think.
You only have 1 minute.
Oh, 1 minute?
So, yeah.
Okay.
So they keep it pretty crisp. Antics from a Mama Squirrel, you can go to her site, and she has taken some of the things we've called in and said and put them in these squirrels, and it's very funny. It really is. But you can hear what people are saying, from that. Antics of a Mama Squirrel.
They have like animated squirrels reading the quotes? Is that what?
Yeah, she does that. But it's very funny. The first time I saw it, I was like, what the hell is this? And then I realized it was just the city council meetings, and she's done it with different people. It's funny. I would have no idea how to do that.
The AI software is getting so much better now. I mean, it's amazing. Yeah, it's scary because it's so convincing in many aspects that it is so easy to create a complete lie and try to pass it off as news. Like this is what the president or the president's opponent said. That is horrible to get people whipped up into a frenzy. So that aspect of it is very, very scary.
Yeah.
But even the software that I've used over the years to make things like Xenu's Playhouse, it has grown by leaps and bounds. And they keep saying, hey, yeah, use our software, and here's here's what you can do with it now, and come and do something with it. And I can't think of anything to do. So if anyone has what you'd like me to do, it's one of those things where they say anything you can dream of, we can put we can create a video about it. It's like, well, yeah, I can't think of anything I'm dreaming about that I want to do. But
Well,
I'm
anyone,
sure
and
something will come.
this includes you and everyone listening. If you get a chance, go to my Facebook site, and the top post is a lady talking on TED Talks, and she talks about data and what's coming for our future, and it's really scary, but it's really important that everybody listens to it. So anyway, there you go.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're going into some really difficult times here because AI is going to take over so many jobs.
Right.
Um, how are we going to survive? The billionaires will make trillions, and we'll be going, oh, well, I used to have a job.
Yeah, it's going to be
That's
tricky.
all, that's all I had to say about it.
Well, we have to vote for you. We have to get you in office, and that's this year, right?
Well, 26.
I mean,
Yeah.
the 26th, but
Yeah.
it's and the vote will be when?
So, I have the dates on the other computer.
It's okay, but
think
it's like in the
I think
fall, probably, right?
yeah, I think the election is in August, and
Yeah.
now they changed the rules for voting in Clearwater because I got elected back in 2020. So now, if you don't have 50% of the vote, there's a runoff. So the top two candidates would have to run another campaign till November when the final nationwide election happens. Because there's primaries in August, and then if I get 50% or more, then I'm in. If not, there's a runoff. So in November, November 7th, I guess, is usually the election day. Then the winner of that runoff will
That doesn't
take
seem
office
fair
the next day. Well,
for
I mean,
Clearwater.
yeah, but they put it on the ballot 2 years ago. So the people of Clearwater actually voted to approve that.
Okay.
Yeah. So by 64%, I think they said, yeah, we should have runoffs.
Wow.
So it's gonna complicate things and make things potentially much more expensive because you finish one campaign and you have to run again. Well, that's more money needed to get to the finish line.
More money and energy. That's going to be that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
To do that. Yeah.
Yep. And you know who's going to have all the money in the world? The Letvala family. They're going to have, and that's what the disgraced daddy. His business is doing campaigns and fundraising for campaigns, and he gave his son. No, that's he makes a fortune from that, and he gave his son Chris a job at Daddy's company, so he's making a lot of money. And then on all these campaigns that they finance, apparently, Daddy has given a cut to the son for his advice, advising the campaign. Sure, there's another, tens of thousands of dollars for that.
Or millions.
So, I mean, yeah, they're not worried at all about sending out mailers or funding the campaign.
No.
They'll have plenty of cash to do it.
They're going to go straight to Scientology.
And they'll be merciless. They don't even need to go to Scientology. They will. But
I know they don't.
They run the majority of the Republican campaigns across the state, I guess. So they're kingmakers.
That's unbelievable.
And I've decided I'm going up against them.
That's spooky. Well, we're going to have to join forces.
Yep.
We got to get you in, Bunky.
You know what would help?
What?
If I have events where my bride Kate Hudson is there to endorse me.
Stop it. You
I'm
have
a
to.
shoe-in. First Lady of the Council, Kate Hudson. Who wouldn't want to see that? And she'd keep her name. She doesn't have to become Kate Bunker. I understand. I might change my name. I may become Mark Hudson. Oh, wait a minute. I think there is a Mark Hudson. I don't know if that's Goldie Hawn married a Hudson. So
Yeah.
And
her
I don't know
daughter's a
if
good
Mark or not.
actress, too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to get you in office, not with Kate Hudson.
We'll try a little harder, okay? Give it a shot. Okay.
All right. Okay, so do you have anything else? Anybody have any questions or comments before we say goodbye? Because it's been over an hour, and I'm trying to keep this in an hour. So does anyone have any questions or comments? Besides how much you love Mark, which I know everybody loves him. See, I told you.
What?
That everybody loves you.
Well, of course everybody loves me. I'm a national treasure. There's no doubt about everybody loving me.
Well, we have to get you a crown.
I bet you deep down David Miscavige is very fond of me too.
Oh,
he's got to go, oh, that scallywag.
Yeah.
I wish he'd be on my side, but I appreciate that he's out there.
Yep.
I'm sure that's what he's thinking.
I'm sure that's what he's thinking too. I know it isn't what he's thinking about me, but that's a different story.
Oh, no, you. Oh, for God's sakes. You're trouble.
Intentional trouble.
Dad? Yes.
I left because of him. He's the only reason I left Scientology. He's the number one reason.
And he's the only reason I never joined. I said,
yeah,
I don't like this Miscavige guy. Otherwise, I'd be up the bridge by now.
Oh, God. Mark, yes, DM loves you. Okay, there you go. That's from Marcy.
Sure.
Hi, Marcy. Okay, yes, do you think running at a Democrat in Florida will hurt you?
Actually, no, and especially it won't hurt this time. And we didn't really play up the Democrat thing last time, or in my first race, because these are not political offices. All the big issues that people get worked up about, like guns, abortion, all these big things that separate people. You don't handle that on the city council. You're trying to fill the potholes. You're making decisions on keeping the city moving forward. You're not taking guns away from anybody or anything like that.
Right.
So normally you don't talk about it, and I probably won't be talking about it a lot, but I do think that it would benefit us to at least have the support of the Democrats sending out mailers, because there will be many, 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 many more Democrats coming to the polls this time than there was when I ran last time. So.
Oh, I've been a bad girl.
I was very proud that, in both of my races, I had Republicans, Democrats, independents, people from the Whig Party. Everybody hates Scientology. So, that wasn't really an issue. So, it's not going to be a major thing in this as well. But I think being willing to accept your endorsement, I think is good in this upcoming election, because I tell you, there's going to be a lot of angry folks going out for some change next year. So,
all right. Well, let me tell you this: I screwed up, in that I've been using YouTube because I wasn't going to do StreamYard anymore because it was too expensive. But
Hmm.
I can't read YouTube. I can't read any comments on it. It's just really difficult. And so I went back to StreamYard, but I forgot about the, the start comments. So I apologize, Kelly, because she's got 11 comments that are starred.
Oh my
So
Lord.
so we're not ending yet because I've got to ask the question. So JB808 says my two favorite people, Tory and Bunky. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you very much. You're one of our favorites too. All right, now the next one is the Journal 2020. Mr. Bunker, thank you so much for all you did with Lisa McPherson Memorial.
Well,
And that's
there
from
were people. Yeah, there were people behind it that did all the work. They asked me to. Um, they wanted me to have the city give a proclamation for Lisa McPherson Day, and the city is
oh,
not going to do that. And I got the rules for what you need to do to apply to have a proclamation read from the council, and you have to either have a company or a charity or something that is behind it, not an individual. Um, and for them, for the city council, I'm sure they do not want to um, anger anyone by talking about Lisa McPherson's death. Um,
sure.
so it whatever would have been written by the city would have been really innocuous and not even talk about her death probably.
Right.
So I just created an official proclamation and presented that, and
Good.
it was fun to do that, you know.
That's
And I was
nice.
able to,
That's
so I was able to balance, uh, being respectful and actually get out the story of her abuse. So
good. Good. Well, thank you for doing that.
you bet.
All right, now here's another one from JB808. Question: do you have a worst of 2025 list? LOL.
Worst of 25 list in what? Movies and TV or just worst of anything that happened in 2025?
I think it's anything.
No, I don't make any lists. So
Okay. All right, here's another one comment. I wonder if you can interview Rosie now. She
there you
moved to
go.
Ireland after this past, what does it say? This past election, and has been doing a lot of interviews with YouTubers.
There you
Well,
go.
I'll have
Get her.
JB808. If you can find her email or her YouTube link, I will write her. I will, and she will remember me. I know. So that would be really fun, wouldn't it? Oh
There you
my
go.
God.
Yeah.
Okay, and then this is buckled up Buttercup. Hello, it's just so weird that Scientology doesn't want anybody around them. So they build right downtown. It's true. Why not a rural campus? It's true. I mean, they should have
Well,
thought of that, done like an Apple or something.
yeah, but it's the type of thing where Hubbard snuck into town because there was some property that they could purchase, the Fort Harrison and the bank building.
Right.
So that was it at the beginning, and for the longest time, it's only in recent years that they've started to
Yeah,
open up
it's
more
true.
buildings. Like it took
Yeah,
till 2013, I think, before the Superpower building was finally
I,
open. And
I remember
they
them.
broke ground on that, when the Lisa McPherson Trust was around in 2000. So
And they did it earlier than that because I was in Scientology in the 90s when they got the golden shovels. and I
Yeah, I
was
think that
at
was
that
like
event.
I think it was 1998, if
Yeah,
I'm correct. But
yeah, and that was the
um,
millionaires who agreed to pay for it.
yeah,
And
so they kind of they're kind of stuck here because this is their base, and they've just decided, well, we've scared everybody away from downtown, so we have a private downtown right here.
right, right,
Um, why move out of here? We have
yeah,
properties right on the water that are wonderful.
it's a pretty city. It is, and the way all the stuff you've done has really enhanced it. I mean,
So,
it really did. I mean, it's dramatically better than when I was there.
yeah. Well, I have tried over the years to suggest to Scientology that there's really inexpensive land over in Largo. You can just move down the road there. Largo would love to have you, but no,
Go on.
they keep buying stuff here.
I know. All right. Water Vicky says, gotta stop that LRH Memorial. He ruined our city. She could help you out. Okay.
Well,
So
um,
here's another one from Cultwater Vicky. Kelly, I volunteered with Save the Garden. I've talked to residents. They're fed up with Scientology. Good.
there you go. There you go.
Good. Good,
Yeah,
good,
you
good.
talk to the people who live here, and unless they're a Scientologist, they're usually not thrilled at all. Um,
No.
what else?
Okay. Good SP. The two reasons I started watching The Truth Behind Scientology when did I already read this? When Mark
You did.
started filming. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, and this is another one from Good SP. Oops, it went right by it. Question. Okay, we already did that one. Mark Bunker, I wonder if Buddy's leg ever healed after you said you stepped on his foot. He was a
Yeah,
favorite of mine.
there's a little incident. I don't even think I stepped on his foot. I was shooting a little film between the hedges at the Celebrity Center, and I backed up to turn to go on the sidewalk, and he was right behind me, the security guard, and I
Yeah,
bumped into him. I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were there," and he called the police.
I
And
remember that.
yeah, yeah, and he tried to get us arrested because we were threatening him. We held him hostage, and the police looked at the tape and said, "And he's changed his story many times. It's fine." Um, but then, if maybe a month later or so, at the 4th of July events,
Right.
on the 4th of July, Buddy came up to me, and he said, "I have a permanent limp because of you." And he came walking over to me with a big limp, and then he turned away and started walking away, and I had to shout out, "You're not limping!" And then he turned around, started limping back. Do I have to have? So I think it healed the moment that I turned my back.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's fine.
All right. Question: Do you? Oh, wait, we already asked that. How bad is it going to get in Clearwater? This is from Neuropsych 893. How bad is it going to get in Clearwater as far as tourism? C of S is taking downtown over.
Yeah, well, tourism right now is not in good shape. It is very down throughout the entire state, and I guess across the country.
Sure.
And it's making it difficult for folks. I mean, for the costs of everything, and then there are a lot of folks who just don't want to come to the States anymore, like Canadians. They refuse to come and come down here. I mean, they have. They
Smart people.
yeah. Um, So that's hurt. But as far as, Scientology owning the downtown, it's going to be interesting to see if they actually, you know,
Yeah,
repair
what's going
all
to
of these
happen?
empty buildings and put businesses in them.
They're
Uh,
not going to.
be interesting to well, yeah, they keep pretending that they're
Right.
going to. They're spending
Right.
a lot of money advertising the glorious revamp of these three buildings downtown for the what's the name of the group? The Cleveland Street Alliance. They don't say we're Scientology. They say the Cleveland Street Alliance is refurbishing these three buildings, and they're going to be beautiful. Oh my God! So now they're doing half-hour shows that are playing on the Scientology channel, but also playing locally on cable. And
Oh, God.
they're pushing all of that so hard, and they've got the developers who are working with Scientology who are out there saying, "Oh, there's going to be it's the rejuvenation, it's the rebirth of downtown Clearwater. It's going to be so spectacular." Okay, well, let's see it. All right.
Right.
Um, as far as I know, I mean, I heard rumors from somebody who talked to these guys who are not Scientologists, but who are involved in refurbishing the buildings. And what I'm hearing is they're planning to charge for the lease of these properties far more than market value.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
and Miscavige is a tyrant, and he's going to
Sure.
be, he's going to have a hand in everything. So,
Yeah.
how this works, I don't know. Um, First, they have to finish these three buildings, and I got to tell you, they've been working on it for a couple of years now.
Right.
We are close to opening up our new city hall, which we approved when I was on the council. And I know there's some folks who are saying we don't need a city hall. We can keep spending $500,000 a year renting space in this tower.
Yeah.
Well, the day I stepped down from the council is the day that Scientology, it was announced, bought the tower and the last of the buildings that were available downtown. So City Hall right now is in a Scientology property. That's not right. So I'm
No.
glad that we got this underway, and we've got a City Hall that I see great progress in. And it's going to be opening up soon, and we'll actually have a home there that Scientology cannot buy. Oh, sure, they can buy the council members, but they
Right.
can't get the building.
Good.
And that's what we have
Good.
to do. We have to have properties that the city can control in some respect. Like the county has a lot of their departments downtown in buildings, and they are moving out and creating their own campus outside of
Right.
Clearwater. And so there's like 16 huge properties that will be going to the city and kept out of Scientology's hands. So those
Wow.
can be developed. So with all the stuff we were doing on the waterfront, with those properties coming up, it really looked like we've got some momentum, and we have a chance to revive downtown. And then you know Scientology is demanding a public street so they can have their little L. Ron Hubbard Hall and Park. And we got a council saying, "Hey, it's a great idea. Let's do that. Let's give them the street. How many more streets do you want? We'll give you the entire grid. You can have all the streets in town. You're Scientology. We love you." So
No, I know from personally going to meetings when I was in Scientology going in, they hate Scientology, the public. They really do.
and Bridge is saying, honestly, I don't see how they can revitalize downtown Clearwater. People are not going to want to spend their money in a downtown that is creepy with sea orgers walking around in airline uniforms. Well, yeah, it's going to be a struggle. I will say that Tony is a business owner who's got one block. I think it's the 500 block. He's been refurbishing one side of the street on that block, and that's hopping. So there's a dueling piano bar there, and he's fixed up other restaurants and
And he's
on that
not a
block.
Scientologist.
He's not.
He's not.
No. So he's shown that you can bring life down there, because there, you know, I drove past it just the other night, and there was music blaring down the block from his joints.
Good.
So it is possible, if there's something down there, that people will come. It's not easy, you know. Certainly, people don't want to come down because of Scientology. That's why I said, let's embrace Scientology tourism, because people are fascinated by Scientology. All these books, all TV shows, movies, bring people down here to gawk at the buildings and find out about the history of Scientology in Clearwater. That is a worthwhile thing to do. You know,
sure, you can do a tour bus.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
We should have a museum downtown that is the truth of L. Ron Hubbard and Scientology.
Right. I've said that for years, because I went and Drew took me through to CCHR, and I did the tour, and it's disgusting. And I was so, and I don't throw up easily. I almost threw up. I was so sick. It was pathetic. And I was so mad. And I said, we should put something right next to CCHR with all the shit that Scientology does. They're recruiting, you know, pulling in young kids to billion-year contracts. They're ripping off of money, the medical abuse, you know, just on and on and on. No medicine, no therapy, suicides, you know, all that stuff, and have that in there in the building right next to them. We should. We really should. Because the abuses are there, and they're doing them every day. So if people could go in, the L. Ron Hubbard, here's the keys to every city in the fucking world, which they have, you know, but here's what happens, and here's all the people who were in Scientology and left, and here's their different positions in Scientology and why they left. It'd be really effective.
Yeah, and when I was on the council, I talked to the Clearwater Historical Society, and I said, you really should have a Scientology exhibit here. You can, you know, have former members come and speak, or journalists who have covered this, or, you know, you can get people to come downtown to find out this fascinating story, and they wouldn't touch that at all.
No, I'm sure.
So, you know, having a private institution, like at one point, you know, Leah Remini was talking about having a ice cream store down here with Mike Rinder, and having that as part of it, having a safe place for folks to learn about Scientology.
Sure.
I really think it's worth doing, at least to say we're not afraid of you. I mean, that's why I moved back here. That's why I ran in the first place, to say I'm not afraid.
No,
you know. So and you know, I hope that rubs off on some folks in town, because you know, one thing I've always said is, come on downtown, have a meal. Look, that's why I used to do dining with the SPs. So you can see a restaurant downtown. You can see how nice it is. There's nothing to worry about. I'm an SP, and I'm sitting here out in the open. No one's grabbing me out the street. It'll be fine. Come on down. But we're making progress in the fact that when there's events downtown, there's, you know, tens of thousands of people who are coming down there for that. And if we have businesses that start opening up, you know, maybe it will work. You know, I think it's really going to be good to have this hotel, which is going to be there with a beer garden and restaurants and all that kind of stuff attached to it. And then in the apartment complex with 400 apartments, the ground floor is going to be retail, and they're hoping for boutique grocery store like what's the name of that place? There's a popular place that's nowhere near me now.
That's a restaurant or a grocery store?
No, a grocery store. Grocery store. People, I'm sure, know what I'm talking about. Can I think of it right now? No, I can't.
I can't either, and I was there for a long time. And I lived in Largo for 2 years.
Well, yeah, but there's plenty of them there in L.A. where you are in Burbank. Okay, come on.
You mean Scientology? Scientology
No.
group?
No,
Vons,
no.
Ralph's, Gelson's.
No. Smaller. Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's. That's what I was trying to think. Yeah.
I live there.
Yeah. So if we got so if we've got a Trader Joe's downtown in the ground floor of the apartment complex, we'll be getting more people down there. So we just have to give people something to do, some reason to come downtown. Right. And listen, if Tom Cruise and David Miscavige want to open up a movie theater downtown, I'm all for that. They've been promising to do that for years and years and years. Nothing is stopping them. They've got the money. They should be doing it. And, I'm sure people will come downtown if you have a movie theater. And then if you have a movie theater, because there's none right around Clearwater. Right. Like I drive now. There's one that's probably about 15, 20 minutes away from me in a mall. I don't really care much for that theater. I've been to it before, but I drive like a half an hour to an AMC because it's a theater that I love, and I'm part of their A-list thing. So like $25 a month, you can see 4 movies a week in any format. And they have an IMAX screen and a Dolby screen. So that's great. I would like to be able to just go 2 minutes away to a theater downtown. So if there's that option, I would probably go for it, especially if they bring in an AMC so I can use my card.
There you go.
Because I'm a cheap bastard. I'm not paying $25 a month and then more for a movie. I had to do that to see Merrily We Roll Along because it was a Fathom event thing. So I had to pay $16 to get into that on top of the A-list thing. So
right. All right. So two thumbs says, Tory, do you stay in touch with Jay? That's a question. Jay was a protester that was here a couple of years ago. Very kind guy. I would love to stay in touch with him, but I don't have his phone number anymore. The one I have doesn't work, and I don't know how to get in touch with him. Otherwise, I would, because he's a really nice guy. So there's that answer. Now, someone else said, oh, no, wait, there it is. No, wait. There was another one. This is from YouTube.
Yeah, I'm seeing this one here. Happy to see Bunky and Magoo together again. Suggestion for Mark. Part of your platform should be reinstating public comment at the city council meetings. My understanding is that's going to happen. And I definitely would be supporting that and pushing for that. I have felt all along that people have the right to come and be jerks and to curse at us. And, they have 3 minutes to vent. We're up there making decisions that affect people's lives. And if people are upset with us, they can come in just like the Scientologists did when they lined up to say, he's just like Hitler. I wasn't upset about that. I didn't strike back at them. Okay, that's what you had said. I think I'm a reasonably nice guy. That's how I got to be a national treasure, for God's sakes. But that has not been the opinion of the folks who are running the council, because they stopped it altogether.
Right.
And it was nuts. And it started out because of the armed fishermen, so I'm partly responsible for this. The armed fisherman is this guy who goes around to different cities throughout Florida so he can film himself walking around with a fishing pole and a rifle or whatever, an assault rifle. And he was here on Clearwater Beach, and people were
Why?
calling the police. It's
What's the
because he
point of
needs
it?
clicks he needs clicks for his YouTube channel. So
Oh,
he's
oh,
going out there. All these gun nuts follow him, and the police stop him, and he says, "Oh, it's legal. I can do this. It's legal," and it is legal. There's a law in Florida that if you're fishing, you're allowed to have a gun, and I think
wow.
it's primarily for, there when it was written, it was considered, if there's somebody out in the wilderness at the lake, and there could be a bear or an alligator sneak up on you, you can have a little pistol with you and defend yourself. I think
Yeah.
that's the genesis of it, not to have some guy walking on a crowded beach with an assault
No.
rifle.
No.
But the thing is,
Assault
he goes
rifles
to town.
shouldn't exist.
Yeah. So he gets all this footage of the police, and then he goes home and makes Clearwater, they're outrageous that the police don't understand the law, and all the folks who follow him agree, and so they're upset about it. And then after he was detained here and questioned by the police, then he came back to the council, and I watched this initial video again recently. I sent it to somebody, but he came to a council meeting, and before the meeting, he came up to each of us as we were sitting on the dais waiting for the meeting to begin. And when he came to me and stuck the camera in my face, I said, what you're doing is legal, but it's stupid. And my feeling that, sure, you can walk around with an assault rifle and a fishing pole. Yeah, but is it a wise thing to do when you're scaring people? Yeah. But I said, you can do it. It's legal, but it's stupid. And he went, "Oh, so you think the Second Amendment is stupid? You think gun laws are stupid?" And I didn't say that. And he went back and he did a video. "Oh, Council Member Bunker, get ready. You're going to be internet famous now. Everybody look at this video of Council Member Bunker and call him and write him. You know what to do." And so we got flooded with phone calls and death threats, and it went on for a month or two, and he and his buddies would continue to come back to meeting after meeting. More people would show up because he'd come to a meeting, and then the mayor, whoever the mayor was at the time, would be pounding the gavel and trying to have them dragged out of the council. No, just let them talk for 3 minutes. Let them say,
Yeah.
if you want to come and say Bunker is a Nazi, that's fine. I can take it. It's not going to kill me. You should be able to take it too. And eventually the council got so frightened that they had the police escort us. We would normally have our council chamber right now is in the public library downtown. And before the meetings, the council always gets together for a dinner, usually on the second floor of the council.
Wow.
But with all these folks coming to the council meeting for their suggestions, for their comments rather, they decided that the police would put us all in a van, and we'd go over and we'd have our meal at the gas company, and then we pile back into the police vehicle and be driven over to the council meeting. And I said, I'm just going to take my car. And I didn't worry about it. In fact, one of the reasons I was able to turn around the folks who follow the armed fishermen, it's because I went out after meetings and stood in front of their cameras and talked to them and said, "Listen, I agree.
Right.
Stupid. They should not be doing this. But
Right.
I'm here. I'll talk to you. So those folks uh, stopped attacking me, and that's, I think, the way it should be handled. Let people talk. If they want to say you're a jerk, listen to it and go, thank you. Your 3 minutes
Yeah.
are up.
Yeah.
But when you pound the gavel and when you have people dragged out of there, it just gets more people upset, and then we're going to come back next time with more. So it just keeps escalating. And so
True.
they finally, right after I left the council, they shut down all comments. Um, I'm hearing talk that they're planning to bring it back, and I hope they do. I would certainly be uh, all for that. In fact, on our last council meeting, when I was still on the council, our mayor had some reason he could not attend that council meeting, so I was in charge as the vice mayor, and I ran the meeting. And at the end, and I told these guys beforehand, listen, I'm not going to kick you out. It's just do your 3 minutes and stay peaceful. And they did. They weren't acting up in there. They came up and they said horrible things. Especially the armed fisherman was ripping into our former police chief, who was at this point the assistant city manager, and he was just ripping into him. And I just let him do it, thinking that I can take it. They should all take it. That's just our job, is to you make decisions that people are happy or unhappy about, and if people want to come and rip into you, that is their right. But this former chief of police was upset about that. I talked to him afterwards, and he thought that I was purposely allowing them to attack him. And I said, well, that is, I think, how we should behave. We should say, if you want to say something horrible to me, go ahead. We're up here affecting people's lives. So if you're upset about something, we should hear you out.
Right.
But I mean, he was really hurt by that, and I did feel bad about that. I tried to apologize, but that's my feeling. I think I'd still look at it that way. Come on, everybody, stiffen your spine. It's not the worst thing in the world to have somebody cursing you out.
Well, okay. All right. So, point taken. Now, Neuropsych 93 says, is the hotel for the general public? My answer would be no. Do you have some other answer? No.
It is definitely for the general public. The hotel that is going up is
no, but I mean the hotel now is not. Fort Harrison is not for the general public.
I don't think they're talking about the Fort Harrison. They're talking about the new hotel that will be constructed by the.
Oh, and that is for the general public?
Yeah, that's it. That's I think it's a boutique hotel from I don't know if it was Marriott or it's one of those big chains.
Oh, okay.
And it's going to be really nice. And there are so many hotels on the beach. It's impossible to find a new place to put a hotel on the beach, and to have people come and stay downtown at a hotel, dine here, and then hop on the shuttle and beat the traffic to go over and spend some time on the beach and then come back. I think it's going to work out nicely.
Good.
And the beer garden will be for the general public as well.
Of course, they don't drink. All right, so it says it would be nice to stay downtown and not have to buy a Dianetics book. Well, they do have the Quality Inn. Do they still have the Quality Inn?
Yep.
We were not allowed to stay in that as OT7s. We were sent to someone, and that guy told us The Sea Org will not eat if you don't stay in the sandcastle. And that was $1,000 a week that we had to pay extra.
Huh. Funny how it's they charge like that.
I'm telling you, finally a bunch of us went, you know what, screw it. We're staying in these other and I stayed in this little funky one on one of the main drags. And I don't know if you ever saw, I can't remember the name of it, but it's a really funny movie. And this guy, these prostitutes are like outside and screaming at him, and he's got the door held up against him. You know the movie. I can't remember it, but it's really funny. Anyway, that's how I felt. I'm in this room, and these guys are having a big fight outside. And this Chinese lady comes out and goes, "Shut up! You owe me $50. Get back in your rooms." And I'm like, so I'm putting the thing up against the door. I'm like terrified. So I immediately the next day I went and I said, okay, I'll stay at the sandcastle. It's too scary for me.
Well, there are Holiday Inns that are options as well. You know,
I know, but I had to stay close to Flag. And the Holiday Inn wasn't close to Flag at that time. All right. So, Mark, remember the work session where Cotton wanted to rename Court Street to Charlie Kirk Way? Ooh. They opened up comments and Cotton got an earful.
Yeah. The way it is now, if you're voting on something at a council meeting, people from the public can talk about that item that's on the agenda to be voted on. There used to be 3 minutes at the end 3 minutes per person at the end that people could come up and vent about anything at all that they wanted. They cut that out, but yeah, boy, Ryan certainly heard plenty from the angry people who were there over the Charlie Kirk Street change.
Sure, they didn't do it though, right?
Oh God, no. Okay. No, the rest of the council were smart enough to realize this is a disaster, especially when you had all these angry people, the majority of them from North Greenwood, African-American community, not exclusively, but they were there willing to rip into him over all the racist things that Charlie Kirk has said. And they at one point, as they were ending, one of those folks said, there's an election coming up and we're going to remember you and we're going to vote you out. So
good.
He made a lot of friends that night.
All right. Now, this is a request from the YouTube watcher here. Please make Bunky and Magoo a regulated event, at least once a month. This might be my New Year wish. I agree with that. I'm good on that.
Well, I mean, if I had anything to say.
Stop it. All next year, you're going to have stuff to say once a month. Come on.
That's true. That is true.
You're going to run for office and you're going to have to think of something to say. You have tons to say anytime.
Yeah, well, I'm sure. Okay, I can do it.
You just can't handle me. That's what it is.
No, Magoo.
Well, then there you go. So once a month, we'll have Bunky and Magoo.
All right. Sounds good.
I think that's a good idea. At least this next year to get you in office.
All right.
Now, Sieglin says, pardon me? What did you say?
I'm all for it.
Okay.
Count me in.
Good. You're in. All right. So now Kelly says, I heard you say it, Mark.
Yeah, I know.
Not seeing the lady on TED Talks talking about on Tory's Facebook page. Counting on you, Kelly. You're not seeing it on there? That's weird. I would go look, but then I have to get off this to go look.
Go look for what?
Remember I said on the top of my Facebook is a lady from TED Talks.
Hmm.
You didn't hear
Oh,
that? And
yes, I remember that now.
yeah, and it's
Mhm.
a really good. She really goes into some details that are, I think, important for people to hear. But I guess whoever's there, Sieglin said she doesn't see it. Are you going to Tory Magoo 44 on Facebook?
Kelly is saying it doesn't show to the public, just your friends list.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Oh, and she's not my friend. Sieglin, you should be my friend.
Become her friend. What's wrong with
I
you? Come
would.
on,
I know.
for God's
I, don't-
sakes.
I thought I was her friend. All right, let's see. I'm
How,
looking at it now.
how cruel the things you learn in public. You think
Oh,
you're beloved, and then people just stabbing you in the back every chance they can.
here she is right now. There it is.
They are telling the same lies. We are watching the collapse of the international order in real time, and this is just the start. Coups are like
All
concrete.
right.
When they stop moving, they set.
Can you hear her?
It is already
No.
later than we think. This
We can't.
image, some of you in this room might know these people. I call it tech bros in hostage situations. It's a message to you. This is Putin's playbook. He allows a business elite to make untold riches in exchange for absolute loyalty. Some people are calling this oligarchy, but it's actually bigger than that.
It's bigger than
These are
oligarchy.
global platforms.
Sasha
It's
Kelly-
an oligarchy.
and her
There is
her
an
name.
alignment
Wait.
of interests
All right. Shh.
that run
Shh. Okay. Her
through Silicon
stop. Her name is Sasha. Of course, now it goes away. All right.
of interests that runs
REHEYLO.
through Silicon Valley to what is now.
Did you get that, Kelly? Sasha, REHEYLO. And it was played December 9th. Did Kelly say she saw it or not?
She has not said it. She's probably looking for it right now. Got it, she says. Look, that's how efficient she is.
Got it. I know, she's good.
She-
Good,
she
Kelly, good.
could not waste the time to say, I'm going to get it. She just snapped right into action and got it.
She gets it. Atta girl. All right, good. Well, there we go. So everybody's got her name. I can't type on this thing. I don't know why, but I can't type on it.
I will say this: if I had a live stream, I would want Kelly as my moderator. I'm just going out on a limb and just saying that right now.
I know. I agree. She's the
If she's
queen.
available.
Well, are you ready to come back?
If I have something to say, sure, I'll come back. I've been enjoying having a break.
Yeah, take a break because you're going to be very, very busy in this next year. So you got to revamp, be ready, and get all your ducks in a row as far as people that are going to support you, help you financially, and volunteers.
People love ducks. If I have a bunch of ducks in a row, the crowds will appear.
Exactly. That's it. All right, Munchkin. Well, anyway, thank you to everyone for coming on. Thank you, Mark Bunker, for being here. And thank you for your wonderful announcement. I'm very happy to hear it.
It's going to be an exciting year.
It is. It definitely is. It's going to be a very exciting year. And that makes it even better. All right. Kelly says, thank you, everyone. I don't rock yet. I haven't found. Ooh, it went away. I haven't found the video.
He
Tory
hasn't
is
found
talking
that video
about.
yet.
Oh, okay. Well, remember, it's December 9th. But see, Glenn, just become my friend, and then you can see it.
Well, that may be a price too steep to pay.
What? No, there isn't. What are you saying? There isn't a price.
No,
It's
I was
free.
like, all I have to do is be my friend, and maybe it's, oh, I don't want to be your friend. I'm sitting here watching you live, but I don't want to be your friend.
Oh, I see. She doesn't want to be my friend. Okay.
I'm just perhaps speaking for her. I don't know if that's how she really feels.
All right. Well, I'll leave it be. And
All right,
on that
Magooski.
note, thank you. It's been wonderful. There's the Xenu TV, which is Mark
Oh boy.
Bunker's. That's his
Oh, look
site.
at that.
There you go.
Yeah, you can look at the little Christmas video I put up. I forgot I had that. The Del Oro Groves neighborhood is a really nice neighborhood on the east side of Clearwater. And they invited me a couple of years ago to join them as they go Christmas caroling on golf carts. They go door to door and they sing songs to some of the neighbors. So
that's great.
last year I shot some video of that and I put that up online for them
Good.
and shared it with everyone.
Good. Nice. Well, happy New Year to you, Mark, to Kelly, to everyone here. Thank you for coming by, and may 2026 be a fabulous year.
Yes, a victorious year.
A victorious year. All right. So are we done? Should I end off?
That's it.
I think that's it. All right. Once a month, Bunky.
All right.
Bunky and Magoo. All right. Adios, amigo.
Bye.
Bye. All right.